He stood in the doorway, suitcase already half-zipped, his voice careful like he was handling glass. "I'm moving back in with my ex-wife to take care of her," he said. "You'll understand one day. Understand." That was his word. I smiled. I even tilted my head, like I was touched by his kindness. "Of course," I said. "She needs you." He exhaled. Relief, guilt, both. He didn't notice the way I folded his shirts, one by one, too neatly. He didn't notice I was memorizing the weight of every item he chose to take. He thought I was letting him go. He had no idea I was clearing the field. We met 11 years ago in a storm. Literal rain, soaked shoes, him holding a broken umbrella, grinning like an idiot. I was 26, pragmatic, skeptical. He was charming in that lazy, magnetic way men are when they're used to getting away with things. He made me laugh. He made me forget how to be careful. Back then, his ex-wife was just a story. "She's crazy," he said. "Can't let go." I believed him. That's the trick, isn't it? You have to trust someone to be betrayed. The years blurred. Mortgage, dinners, shared passwords, slow Sunday mornings. I built a life around his promises, like scaffolding around a house that would never be finished. Then the cracks started. It began small. He started taking calls outside, locked his phone, cleared his browser history, badly. Then there were the overnight business trips that smelled like perfume I didn't wear. He started saying her name again, casually, too casually. "Yeah, I talked to her. She's having a hard time." That's when I knew the storm had circled back. So I waited, observed, collected. I didn't cry, not once. Emotion clouds judgment, and I was done being blind. The night he told me he was leaving, that noble little speech about doing the right thing, I felt nothing, not love, not hate, just precision. I drove him to her house myself, parked at the curb, helped him unload the bags. He kissed my cheek, habit, not affection. When he turned away, I saw the back of his neck, the way it flushed when he was nervous. That's when I knew he wasn't going to take care of her. He was going to stay with her. And that was fine. I just had to adjust the ending. You learn a lot being married. Access is power. So before I dropped him off, I moved quietly through the digital shadows of our life. Our joint accounts became my accounts. The credit cards in his name only, frozen. The storage unit with his collectibles, lease canceled. And the investment account he hid under his brother's name, the one he thought I didn't know about, was linked to an old password pattern I cracked months ago. But money wasn't the point, not entirely. It was reputation. It was truth. See, I had found something while cleaning the attic a week earlier. A box labeled Tax Records 2019. Inside were letters from her, the ex-wife. Letters postmarked 2 years after he married me. Handwritten, intimate, desperate. And on the back of one envelope, her handwriting, delicate and furious, was a sentence that changed everything. "You said she'll never find out about the money." The money. The loan he'd told me he gave his brother. I took a photo of that letter, printed copies, wrote a small note and sealed it with care. Then, the morning after I dropped him off, I drove back to her neighborhood and slipped an envelope into her mailbox. No return address, just truth. 48 hours, that's how long it took. He came back, shoulders slumped, face pale, suitcase half empty. She'd kicked him out. He didn't know I knew. Didn't know she'd called me, shaking, crying, to tell me how she'd found out everything. How the money he'd promised her never reached her bank. How he'd used both of us like currency. I listened. I let her talk. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. He showed up at the door that evening, eyes red. "She's crazy," he said again. "You won't believe what she—" "I do believe her," I interrupted. Silence. He blanked. I handed him a folder. Inside, copies of every transfer, every hidden account, every debt in his name that I'd already settled with his funds. And at the bottom, divorce papers, signed by me. His lips parted, words fumbling out, useless. "You'll understand one day," I said. He flinched like the words burned. They were supposed to. The next morning, I made coffee in a quiet kitchen that felt bigger without him. He left without breakfast, without the watch his ex bought him, without the car. That was in my name, too. I watched from the window as he walked down the street with that same old duffel bag, the one I packed for him days earlier. I didn't smile, not because I was sad, because it was done. People think revenge is rage, fire, and chaos. It's not. It's silence. It's restraint. It's the moment you realize you don't need to shout to be heard.